the underground. We're back for another one here on this Friday, June 14th, 2024. Much love to everybody out there. Check the chats. Let me get some feedback here real quick. Thank you, David, Meat Puppet, Dub C, Gabriel, E. Fitz, Gary, Spawn Shank, Wild Wild West, all the purebloods out there, Crown Jewels, all my mods, Judge Britt, Alf, D. White, Fulcrum, good to see everybody. The real Jay from the Bill, checking in, man. Hope all is good, everyone. I want to thank everyone that shares the stream. Thank you, Kev Bar, Tacos, everybody out there, D. White, everybody that shares the stream. Appreciate it to the fullest. I hope all is well. So we got plenty to cover here tonight. If you got anything that you want to get to me, please let me know. Dabu7@yahoo.com or at me at Surviving in Times there in the chat or at Dabu7 over on D Live. I do the best I can to catch it. I more than likely am going to be watching the YouTube chat more than anything. I keep that up on one screen, then I can read off my monitor all the stories, everything that you guys are seeing, and I can kind of keep an eye on both, but it's kind of impossible to keep an eye on multiple chats. Do my best to keep up with everything, and I want to start off here with tonight some breaking news. This is right out the gate breaking. This is out of Princeton, West Virginia. We've got some insider information here. People reporting that there has been a shooting take place at a Days Inn. A lot of the area is on lockdown. From what I'm hearing, from information coming out of the hospital, is that it's very frantic. There's cops running around with rifles and guns. There's about 20 different people injured. I don't know how many fatalities yet. I'm waiting on information to come in. As I get it, I'll relay it. Shoutouts to Panther. And prayers going out to everyone out there involved. Let's see what we got here. All right, I got at least a link here. I'm going to pull up here real quick. Okay, it says that a shooting at Days Inn in Princeton leaves multiple people injured. Police officers on the scene and do not believe that the public is in danger. They are searching for the suspect, though. That's all we got. This is the only link. He was looking for information. This means that we've got a shooter that shot multiple people on the loose in Princeton, West Virginia. And from what I've heard, it's pretty chaotic in the hospital there. And, oh, it's all gravy, baby. Thank you, though, Jay. Much love. I appreciate that. Good looking out. As I get more information on this, I'm going to keep you guys posted again. If you got anything, tag me over on Twitter, in the chat, or send it over to my email, dabu7@yahoo.com. Hopefully there's no fatalities in that shooting, but wanted to start off letting folks know this is what's going on in that region. All right. On that note, let's see what we got here. Jay Bear, thank you for the coffee. Bury 'em in the trails. Oh, yeah. And thank you for the comment there. I appreciate that to the fullest. Turn it down a hair. Yeah, we're constantly getting attacked and bombarded. That is the truth. Wanted to start off here with this one on tattoos, because I know a lot of people out there got them. Whether big or small, they're saying that tattoos in the ink that is used to create them contains toxic ingredients that are now linked to higher risk of lymphoma, cancer. And, that is the germ fighting lymphatic system inside the body. They say that just having a single tattoo raises your odds here by at least 21, 22%. So, a lot of people out there got them from the smallest to the biggest. They say around 32% of Americans have at least one tattoo. Seems like more than that, but an estimated 22% have multiple. However, tattoos become more widespread as they get more widespread. So is this malignant lymphoma. They're saying it's increasing 3% to 4% over 40 years. And this is coming from data from 12,000 people from age 20 to 60. Regardless, when you see a jump that big, they should be changing up whether you're for tattoos or not. They should be using something safe, right? Come on. It's common sense. From Jump Street, before we even, this isn't prison. There should be all natural inks and stuff like that out there. I know that there's ways. There has to be. Has to be. I think it'd be huge if somebody brought it into existence. JT, thank you for the coffees. And thank you, and much love right back at you. Much love, JT. I don't know. It's just I think of all the people that I see that's got tattoos, and when you knowledge is power. When you get this information, and when you're out next time after you see something like this, you're looking at someone with a tattoo, and it's the first thing that pops into your head. I don't know. I just think it's it's true. You're getting stuck with the needle and toxic stuff and all this, but I think that there could be a safer way. I just really do. I think if somebody tried, went down that avenue, really put some time and thought into it, and some experimenting, we could find something. And then stuff like this could go bye-bye, and we could start dropping reports on, hey, now people can get tattoos without having to worry about getting lymphoma and stuff like that. Anyhow, a heads up there. If you were thinking about going out and getting another one, or one, it only takes one apparently. All right, on to some updates with the aircraft. You guys know that Boeing has been under attack big time. All these lawsuits, all these incidents, from fireballs coming out of the engines to doors popping off and these things just diving. I seen a report here earlier. It said that there was a mishap in Hawaii with the 737 MAX. Another one. Now we're finding out some pretty disturbing information. You wonder why these things are falling apart left and right, and people are kind of scratching their head like, why now all of a sudden? Well, it seems that these Boeings and Airbus jets have been made with counterfeit titanium. Dude, this is huge news. Of course, it just gets swept under the rug, and there's so much going on. Somebody might raise an eyebrow to it, but let's keep on pushing, and then they'll board a plane with this problem. You don't want to find out the hard way here, let me tell you. So what's happened is they say that some recently manufactured Boeing and Airbus jets have components that are made from titanium that was sold using fake documentation. That documentation verified the material's authenticity. Yeah, so the falsified documents are being investigated, and by Spirit Aerosystems, which supplies fuselages for Boeing and wings for Airbus, as well as the FAA. The investigation comes after part suppliers found small holes in the material from corrosion. These planes that include these components are newer. They were built between 2019 and 2023, just last year. And among them are the Boeing 737 MAX, the 787 Dreamliner Airlines, as well as the Airbus A220 jets. Dude, that's huge. This is crazy. Yeah, sabotage coming out. Oh, something's up. This just doesn't go. This is about to bring the whole thing down. The whole thing down. When you've got aircraft falling apart like this, it's insane. You got that right, Kev Bar. Thank you for the 20 coffees. Man, thank you, my brother, for the support all these years and continuing. It's appreciated more than you know, bro. For real. But, this doesn't make me want to board a plane. It makes me nervous for any friends, any family, or anyone out there that has to fly. We get all this information. Again, it takes me right back to the conversation. My first thought is we have got to get our own travel system, air system, that we throw down and pay for. If you want to use it and utilize it, be willing to throw down and pay for it. If everybody went in on something, 100 people went in on like a little, Cessna, nice size Cessna, had a couple pilots, a couple airstrips across the country. People could land comfortably, refuel, and keep going. We need to do something instead of sitting there watching, doing nothing. Because that's pathetic. I mean, we really got to be doing something. It's beyond us and just you guys listening, but I mean, large scale, the people in general in this country and around the world. One thing I really don't like is walking into an airport. TSA, all the alphabet gangs, prodding and probing and all this stuff. Nah. I'll pass. I'll drive. I'll drive or take a boat. Yeah. Much love, Luke. So yeah, just again, another heads up there. When you got counterfeit material being used in something as important as an aircraft, boy, I see this. I see stocks imploding more. I see this unraveling and potentially a bunch of aircraft parked. Could lead into something a lot bigger and a lot bigger problems down the road. I think we've got busy seasons coming up here in the next 6 months. The holiday season at the end of the year, all the travel, end of summer travel, as well, all types of stuff, man. So we'll see. All right. Let's take it up to space real quick. If you guys did not know, the past couple days, we've had blackouts from a solar radiation storm. Thank you, Marley. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you for the coffees. Yeah, going live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The storm comes from an S1 solar storm that hit the planet, but it comes from a sunspot that exploded on the backside of the sun, like facing away from us. Some people don't seem to understand how that can affect us, but you've got to understand what's called the Parker spiral, and it's the magnetic limbs, so to speak, that come off the sun and wrap around and connect to the planet. And they do connect even all the way around, wrapped around that backside, off that bottom. Not a lot of X-flare activity, which is good right now, but a lot of sunspots. So not a lot going on in terms of that besides the blackout. There was a blackout for the past 2 days in the Arctic in terms of shortwave radios. A 2-day blackout is something to make note of. They usually don't last that long. But whenever you get cracks in our upper atmosphere, magnetosphere and all that stuff, it lets the solar wind pour in, and that alone can cause things to happen. Adding on top of it, CMEs coming in, that can magnify everything. That's why we put so much emphasis on those, what they call cannibal CMEs, because I really think that a cannibal CME type of situation is probably what is going to take down any grid if it's ever going to, because it's pretty much what happened in the past. The Carrington event was just that. It was a cannibal type event where multiple CMEs came off, and the back ones caught up with the front ones, and all that hit together. So, yeah, man. And if you don't know, look at this. You see, sometimes these storms that come through that cause the most damage don't even make any headlines at first. You just never know what's going to happen out there in space. And like I said, if a bunch of M flares pop off, a bunch of dudes be in the comment, like, oh, they're just M flares. Even if they were X flares. Like, oh, they're just low X flares. Like, get the fuck out of here. Anyhow, these cats just come in and run in their mouth, but they don't stop to think what I just told you. Like, any handful that come together in the sky can cause problems. And what do we have here? 40 satellites knocked out of orbit because of these incoming energies. So it doesn't have to be, again, a big X flare. It can be multiple things that come in at the same time, and it causes things like this. So this is 40 satellites that get knocked out of orbit. Most of these things, when they come in, they burn up in the atmosphere. There may be a little space junk that makes it back down to the planet every now and then, but there's thousands. I think over 6,000 Starlink satellites orbiting the planet. Is they just keep sending more and more up, which is a whole other story and issue. But this shows you right there, when you start putting more up into space and things like this happen. I mean, to anyone else, to lose 40 satellites, 10 years ago or before, that's a big deal. What it takes to just get one up in to where you want it in subspace. But to have 40 knocked out by Elon Musk and company when they got 6,000 up there, they're kind of like, it really didn't affect us. We'll just send more. But a double-edged sword there with all this stuff usually is when it comes to technology. So, yeah, you see any fireballs, anything crashing down to the planet? Let me know. You never know what it could be, really. And if you do see fireballs coming down, ever in your life, looks like it came down in the mountain. Dude, I drive to the mountain. I don't care where it's at. If you see a fireball come down anywhere and you think that you can drive to the impact spot or around where it was coming down, I'd definitely go check it out. Because you never know what you're going to find, man. Anti-gravity BTI's first flight, no engines. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and the FAA is given the green light for them to be testing all these flying aircraft. By 2030, no doubt, we're going to have a lot of aircraft. Drone craft is kind of what I would label it as. Because it's not like anti-gravitics, like UFOs, where it's floating. It's using drone technology, a lot of these aircraft. I'm telling you, they're making advancements out here. They're just keeping it from us. I'm convinced that they're not going to tell everybody or give everybody this technology until after a bunch of big events, and you're going to have to bow down to the beast system to enjoy it, to live in that world, or you're going to be cut off from everything, including the internet. Yep, that's where this is going. So you remember these days. Everyone that plans on not going on the B system, I don't know what you're really planning on doing. All you could do, talk a big game that you're not going to be going on the B system and all this crap when all this stuff happens, these big events in the future. What did you think was going to happen? At some point, you have to have a plan to basically go off grid. There's no other way around it. There has to be a point in the future where you're ready to spend the rest of your days off grid, disconnected from all this, because you better be planning for that and have a plan. If not, you're going to be blindsided. I buy a lot of books when I can. Throughout the years, it's one thing I've tried to do. It's knowledge. Knowledge is power. You can pass it on. When they're eradicating knowledge from the interwebs out there all the time, on a daily basis, on a per second basis, the knowledge that you can find in a good old book that they wished was burned is priceless. And I got one for you. Here's one for you. I got something fun that you guys can do with the family. You ready? Do a time capsule. Do a time capsule with the family, friends, family, kids, whatever, or by yourself. It doesn't matter. Do a time capsule. You can dig it back up later or not. Or you can mark it with the statue, with the pillar, with something. You can do as they do in a lot of these buildings that people don't know about. In the cornerstone, they put a time capsule. This has been discovered time and time again, going back decades, hundreds and hundreds of years. I would do it, but what I would do is I would take stuff from our day and age. I put some thought into it before I did it, and what items I put in there. But I would encase it in sap. Remember Jurassic Park? Back when they pulled out this thing of sap, and they looked in it, and there was this mosquito in it or something, and they extracted the DNA from it, and that's how they got Jurassic Park and all that. Well, that mosquito only survived all that time because it was encased in that sap. I mean, like granite, but you could see it was there because you could see through it. So that's what I would do. That way, no earthquake or corrosion or anything's going to do anything to it. It's going to be perfect the way that you put it in there for eons, just like the mosquito was. That is a time capsule. That, I would take it, listen to me, I'd put key information about this day and age, all the truth, the knowledge, how they're lying, and I'd take it to a ley line intersection. Anyone with an intelligence, anyone with a consciousness knows that this is basically a treasure map. And that those intersecting spots are special in their own right. And you know it. The key to this planet, of course, that's all hidden from us. Ties into Tesla technology and the ether and everything else. But that's what I would do. Because anyone with any intelligence, you should be thinking that now. Where did somebody bury something? I guarantee you, at a ley line intersection. Do you understand? Okay, so I don't know if you guys are feeling the heat out there yet. Summer's definitely here. It's usually at the top of summer where they start pushing all these climate articles and fear mongering, just like you see here from last year. Greta Thunberg, it was June 21st, right when things are the driest. But I've been telling you, it feels like to me they're pushing a drought this way. And it's something that's scary and you need to plan for. When wells run dry, what are you going to do? When the well runs dry, what are you going to do? Because I was seeing this drought being moved toward the Midwest. I mean, it's here. Past 2 summers it's been here. It's dropped the Mississippi and the Ohio River to lows where boats could not even traverse it. Mark my words. It will happen again before the summer's up, and it's only going to get worse and worse. You can either realize the situation or, like boiling the frog, you can wait till it's too late to realize it. Luis, man, much love. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the coffees and the support. I foresee this being a huge issue. I just noticed my own weather here for the past week, and see, I've switched over to where I'm really focused on water catchment right now, and all that. You guys might have seen the video I dropped on first flush system out there on collecting water and all this other stuff. Well, when you start to get into that mode, you pay more attention to when it's raining and all this other stuff. And I've noticed, heck, we haven't had rain for days now. And I look at the forecast, and it's just like the next 10 days of no rain. So those are things that you've got to prepare for. Of course, this is the drier season. God knows, the beginning of the year, I've seen plenty of rain. More than what we were wanting to see. But that's just how it goes in the drier months. Let's just hope that they don't weaponize this full scale, or you'll just gonna hear me talking about it more and more. The only thing I know to do to mitigate that is for you to find some kind of fresh water source out there. You need to go spend about $600 for this tank that'll fit in the back of your truck at like Tractor Supply, and it'll hold around 300 and some gallons of water. And you go find your fresh water wherever you need to get it. You can get one of these two-way pumps that are battery powered for about anywhere from $200 to $400. And you can go and you can pump out of a water source, fill your tank up, take it back to the house, and then pump it and fill your tanks up. You're going to have an emergency reservoir, spot, something. I'm telling you, it's water is life. It's key here on this water planet. And when you find yourself in a situation where it's drying up everywhere, well, I'm telling you right now, these goons can make it rain whenever they want, wherever they want. They sure can. Cloud seeding, they've been doing it since before I was even brought upon this planet. They just don't never use it for the good, which is ridiculous. If we could go out here and do this for the good, if we had like just a year to show everybody what it would be like on this planet if we did things for the good, just let's do it for a year. Like, we could turn this place into such a beautiful, amazing place. You know, desalination plants everywhere, fresh water flowing. It would look like a utopia. We could really turn it into like an Eden type of setting. But you're never going to see that with these demons running the show. And I guess since nobody's willing to get up and make a stand to change it, we're all just going to spend the rest of our lives miserable this way. In the meantime, a massive heat dome coming over the United States. They're saying that to hear this next week, I know here locally, we've got highs they're calling for up in the mid-90s. So you talk about drought, you talk about no rain, mid-90s coming up here in the next week. Yeah, it's going to be baking out there. So everybody prepare. I don't know what this is going to do to crops. Everyone's area is different. Again, it's one of them things where if you're growing and you're farming, water catchment for that is key as well. For times like these where you ain't seen rain in a week, you're going to need some water stored up. Toilet to tap drinking water in LA. What? And man, this place is falling apart. They don't care no more. Yeah, just don't want no one to get caught off guard by this heat dome. Because man, when they come and they park some of these heat domes on us, like right here, just look at this. Let me pull up this picture. That way you guys know where it's about to hit. Right here. Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, Illinois. Places that may not be expecting it are going to get a nice dose of hot air. And heads up again. All right. Well, we have an emergency. If you're down in Florida, you know all about this at this point. There was a tropical disturbance that came through, and these things can do this. You know, you hear a lot about a hurricane because of the high wind. Sometimes these tropical disturbances creep in. They don't have a lot of high wind. A lot of people ignore it, and before you know it, they're flooded out. And it causes life-threatening conditions, and that's exactly what it's done here for millions of people. State of emergency in Florida. This is just the start of the hurricane season, man. Let me play some of these clips so you can see just how bad it is. That car.
Bro, up to the windows.
Up to the windows. That's crazy. That is in Hallandale Beach, Miami, Florida. There's got to be 3 or 4 feet of freaking water there, man.
A lot of these folks have probably decided to just abandon their cars, deal with it later. But you can see they're back there now, maybe trying to get that car free, but doesn't look like they're going to have too much luck with that right now.
Wow, waist high
Water
for sure.
already over the hood of a couple of these cars here. Again, we're just near the Aventura Hallandale Beach kind of border by this mobile home park, just south of Hallandale Beach City Hall and their cultural complex and their city properties here.
Yeah, quite familiar with where you're talking about. I believe the YMCA.
So from one extreme to the next, from some areas having drought-like conditions to other areas like Florida here, literally feet of water in the streets, standing. Not like it's rushing down the street. This is flash flooding. No, this is like this is like the ocean coming in. Here's another one. Now, they're saying they're not expecting any more tropical cyclone activity for the next 7 days. That's like the only good news here. They're saying that this will be the slowest start to a hurricane season in 15 years. This is making me think that something's up. They told us before the La Nina is going to bring more hurricanes and more destructive hurricanes this season than we've seen in a long, long time. Now all of a sudden, it ain't even started yet. This weird flooding is happening instead. Like, dude, watch out is all I could say. It seems like these cats are up to something. And who knows what they're sending our way right now. All I'm saying is be ready. Marty, thank you for the donation. To the fullest. So, hey, prayers going out to everybody out there caught up in this. I know flooding's not a fun situation, but we are in them days and times, man, when weather is being used as a weapon. We've got to be smart. We've got to be calculated, tactical. This is just one of the many reasons why I would never live in Florida full time. I love Florida, don't get me wrong. And I'd even think about buying property down there. Going down there and staying there part-time. Maybe even most of the year, who knows. But for times like this, and I definitely wouldn't spend big money on it. It would just be a little something not expensive where we could drive to a beach or something. And if a hurricane came through and wiped it out, oh well. You know, that's almost how you got to look at it. I'd keep my fortress, survival fortress, like up in the Appalachian Mountains. I mean, let's be real about it. If you're being serious about this, so, you know, love me some Florida. Don't get me wrong, man. It sucks. It's getting devastated. We used to go to a place down in Key West called the Hawk's Nest. It had been around like all my life. My old lady's family went there. Their grandpa took them there, like, for Christmas all their lives and all this stuff. And like, I got to experience it a couple times before a hurricane came through and wiped it out, wiped everything out down there. Ain't never been the same since. I'm telling you, one big storm system could devastate things and change the course of things. Not to mention, man, I had to see a monster storm brewing. Storm in the century, whatever. They're going to come and bring like a Category 9 hurricane and park it on top of us. Something stupid. And I know it doesn't go above Category 5, but when you get out to the tropical cyclones, like just on the other side of Mexico and the other body of water in the Pacific, they're called cyclones. And the whole category system is completely different, and it's stupid. I say if you get past Category 5 and it breaks into a whole new category, then you call it Category 6. And you start to categorize these things. Bust it out. Maybe we didn't need the category back in the day, but if we're hitting these levels now, like, you got to do something. And who knows? Maybe that'll become a new thing that never was. Then you know you're really in crazy times. They go add a new category to it. But it's overdue because we've done been there. We've done been to way over the top of the Category 5 in some of these. So, this brings me to the next one. These storms can easily cause a lot of damage in a lot of different ways. Hurricanes, everything else. And solar is something that is very susceptible to these storms. It just is. And you kind of got to prepare for it, have a plan for it. Hail can decimate and destroy the solar. Things like that. Things to think about. If you are invested in solar and you are down by the beach and these crazy winds and debris and everything, I just, again, the hurricane thing just changes the perspective of living in Florida for me. Just does. I guess it depends on what you got, where you're at, and all that, man. But solar's definitely the way to go. I think if you're trying to go off grid, though. What other way you gonna do? Get some secret little nuclear thing that's gonna keep your house going? What, you gonna build a Tesla tower and get it going? What are you gonna do? Windmills that are chopping birds up. I mean, solar is proven to me to be the best way. If you've got hydro, that is also good, but it's not always there. The water runs dry, you have no more hydro. But it's a good addition, I guess, if you can hook something up on a river or where water is going downhill, any kind of stream, you can catch that and you can use that to generate power. The bigger the drop, the bigger the incline, the more power that you can generate. Get these little spindles, these wheels that spin, and you can make power. But I tell you all the time about silver and gold. And that's because of just like the monetary aspect of it. To have something to barter with and to like catch your bets. If you would have like invested years ago when I told you and you held on to now, you'd be coming out way ahead. Huge. But one thing that drives that money aspect up is that money, so to speak, gold and silver, is used in so many other applications. And in terms of technology, it's only going to continue from here. And I think that this is going to be a huge driving factor. And the prices as well. These headlines are going to keep dropping. The silver demand in just the solar sector alone is expected to squeeze the supply in the future. In just PV, solar arrays. Yeah. Squeeze it by 20%. Because they say that each solar panel uses approximately 20 grams of silver. That's more than a half an ounce. Don't let the fiends figure this out. They're already chopping down telephone poles and then stripping the wire off of telephone poles and storms and everything else, getting crazy with it to get the copper. I mean, That's I don't know how you're going to stop this. As these metals get worth more and more, these guys are going to be doing stupid stuff. I mean, they're already doing it, and some of them losing their life in the process. But yeah, yeah, and the prices have pulled back in solar here recently. If we go to war with China and anything like that, even if you're buying U.S. made, things like chips and little components that go in all this stuff still come from other parts of the world. And I'm telling you now, man, you're probably going to want to make a move for this solar stuff. I'm talking this year. If you've never done it, look, I've taken the time. I've wasted time, to be honest with you, on other people, which I'll never do again in this life. Never waste your time on helping grown-ass adults that can't even help themselves or won't help themselves. They're that lazy, that pathetic. That's what I'm talking about. But I put a lot of time in helping people, so to speak, past couple of years. One person in particular get all set up to survive all this crap. Actually, a couple people. And the whole plan was like to be off-grid, go solar and all this. And in the end, like, they did all this stuff and like not only did they screw me over, they didn't even go solar. They're still connected to the grid. Like, what the hell was the whole point? Like, duh. Like, anyhow, stupid is as stupid does. But, yeah, colloidal silver can do a lot of good things. Silver is good. I got guys out there like JJ and others that specialize in making it and selling it. Nano silver colloidal, what it helps to do is it helps to get some of these other things into the blood, oxygen and other things into the blood, if it's not being absorbed correctly. And even other things helps get it if your body's like rejecting. Like, I've been fighting a situation here with B12, trying to figure out what's going on with that. If for some reason your body's just like spitting it out and not wanting to absorb it, you can take things like that will help get that into your system. You see, there's also other little tricks out there that I've come to find out. Like, they'll tell some people out there that you might make sure that you're taking vitamin D with vitamin B12, because the vitamin D helps your body absorb the B12 as well. Things like that. Just some tips thrown out there. Moving on here. Shoutouts to beardvet.com. You guys like to get your coffee on, gotta check out BeardVet. Well, for all types of stuff. He's been good to the crew, and this is solid. He's a good cat. I've repped him throughout the years. When it comes to coffee, anytime I see a coffee story, I think of him. Gotta give him a shout out. Check out beardvet.com. And the crew over there. Might have to pick them up as some kind of official sponsor here, or something, because it's cats like him that's been around for years. It's proven himself that I could trust, unlike others out there that you don't know or anything like that. So that's why I rep him out there. But if you like coffee, not only is it healthy and giving all kinds of health benefits, I think I've reported on like 4 or 5 different articles in the past month or so alone on positives all connected to coffee. All these different positive health things. Well, now, as you're hearing that, guess what? The price has just been going through the roof. As all these positive headlines have been breaking, health-wise, the price just continues to surge. So, it pulled back a little bit, but then it took back off. And you can see here, it's just climbing. Now, the world's top Robusta coffee producer is telling the whole world, guess what? We've got the smallest export that we've seen since 2009. So this is going to crunch it even more. This is going to cause the price to rise even higher. What's this next one? Roller coaster. Cocoa prices surge above $10,000 a ton as global supply fears worsen. Just as I showed you. They let the cat out of the bag. And now what? Look, the price surged high, and I reported on it. It pulled back. Now it's just storming back up. And it'll probably go right back up to where it hit around 12,000, and we'll reassess it then. If it's bouncing around up there around 12,000, it's probably going to break through it. That's how it happens. And March even higher. If that happens, expect coffee across the board to rise. I mean, the price of everything going through the roof. I mean, gosh, you mix in a little bird flu with this, and your creamers and your coffees go up and through the roof. For all that, oh my gosh, like this stuff, like $25 for a Starbucks coffee or something crazy you're gonna be paying. I'd be looking into growing some of my own coffee. Of course, I'm just gonna lean on Beard Vet for all that. That's down his alley. He can do that. So let's go to the next one. Trump pandering to everybody out there. That's what politicians do in an election. You go out and you try to win over all the people, get as many votes as possible. Right? Right. So he comes out, what I say, talking out the side of his, because he doesn't really know a whole lot about this. I mean, he is who he is. He's ran around here and there, and he's puppeteer. He's taken here and there, and he does what he does. He definitely doesn't spend long hours at night like any one of us out there studying any of these things. Nuh-uh. He don't spend like no time looking into this. Maybe 5-10 minutes, an article he whizzes by. He don't spend hours and hours, days and days, and weeks like we've done looking into this stuff. He don't. He just hears what the people around him tell him. So, and that's a lot of what these people are. Okay? So, he comes out, and of course, he's got to play this position, because on the other side of the coin is the Biden administration, which is counter, acting like they want to come down on it. So he has to be the opposite of everything that they are out here on this world stage. They want to push the CBDC and all this other stuff. He doesn't. So he's got to play that card. He's got to fit in there. Whether he wants it or not, this is what he's got to play to the people. $20 for a carne asada super burrito. You have got to be kidding me, lowrider. This is Cali. Where at? I'm going to try to keep an eye on chat. See what you say there. I might have missed it. I'm trying to say where at. Where's that $20 for a carne asada super burrito at? It's a local joint or something, but still, that is nuts. You better be eating on that thing for lunch and dinner for 2 days. I had to throw in 2 days. Like, oh man, I'm just, it's not funny, but I gotta laugh where I can, or I'll go nuts. Okay, so, anyhow, Jay said he heard a watermelon is $18 in Cali. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, if it's non-GMO and all this other stuff, I don't doubt it at this point. So, all right, you guys should already know. I've said it a million times that the NSA created Bitcoin. You should be hip to that. Like, our government is fully behind it. It's why it's in this country. They allow you to invest your 401k into it and even mess with it. Period. They control it all. They are Satoshi. So he comes out. And he says he wants Bitcoin to be made in the USA after hosting the mining industry. He goes on to say, let me see here. I'm going to get his exact words here. All right, he says that this is going to be huge for energy in this country. Dude, get out. It says right here on June 11th, Trump-owned Truth Social, the presidential candidate, said he wanted all the remaining Bitcoin to be made in the USA. It says sick. It says, and claimed it would help the country be energy dominant. Dude, what is he smoking? Does he not know who's lying to this dude? Does he not know that they literally are in China? The dudes are in huge waterfall plants just to do this. It consumes so much power. It's the biggest question I've always had about Bitcoin. How does it consume this much power for nothing? for a nothing that you can't even hold in your hand, for a digital nothing. Oh, they're telling you something's there, but it just consumed all this power. So you've got a Bitcoin? Dude, I'm telling you, he's just talking. He has no clue. Anyone that has a brain that has done any bit of work on this knows opposite of this. That it will not work. Like, the EV stuff as well will not work. Like, we do not have the infrastructure to support it. All the other people out there, even the guys in crypto, have said the same thing. That's why dudes are going to like volcanoes and like huge waterfalls and stuff to try to mine this stuff because it consumes so much energy. Energy dominant? Get the fuck out of here. You don't even know what you're talking about, fool. It's just pandering to the crowd right there. That's what it was, I'm telling you. We're in this day in, day out. You come with some crap like that. Still, some of the people out there just love Trump regardless. Just take it, hook, line, and sinker. Won't even question it, which is stupid. You should never follow nobody blindly like that. I don't care how bad you hate Biden and his Bidenomics. You never follow someone blindly like that. If so, you're easily controlled and manipulated. And they'll have you all your days. All your days. We're about waking people up here to the left-right paradigm. It's called the Hegelian dialect. You should do some research on it. All right? Because it's happening full-blown right now. And I don't know if you're going to see an election this year. Not. But buckle up. We're in interesting times. It's going to be a fun one from here. You got to make the most of it. Even if they shut the lights out, what are you going to do? Flip out? You've only known about this forever, and we've only warned you about it forever, so when it happens, there should be no flipping out. Be like flipping the switches on, like, look, we're ready to rock, baby. I told you earlier, you better be ready to go off-grid unless you want to go into the beast world. All you guys saying you're true bloods out there, well, when the next test comes, we'll see how many's left after that, because this is how it's going to work. Going through these end times. If you didn't think it was going to be crazy. There's huge events coming. When you look back in the future back on them, and it'd rather be obvious. But when you don't know, when everyone's blinded, right now, blinded by the light, and they don't really know what's coming at them, I don't know. I kind of see it as like you got to see the writing on the wall. Like, Mastercard here with this one. They launch a biometric retail payment system in Europe. Poland is the testing ground. We know where this is going. The whole world's pushing it. The United States is going to be the only ones left out in the end. They'll find a way. They'll bring this place down and crumble. I told you before. Shut the lights out. And before you ever come back online to participate in the global system of getting online, getting on the internet, banking, anything, you have to bow down to the B system. You will have to give them your biometrics, all this stuff. So they're already doing Mastercard now, doing it full scale here. All right, let's move into, keep it pushing here. The next one talks about a cashless society. What I'm ultimately trying to warn you about here, just to take a look at where we're at and where Americans are spending. Let's go back to 2016 up to like 2022 when the scam was initiated right here into 2019 to 2020. What happened? Soon as the scam was initiated and lockdowns commenced, credit cards went through the roof, and they haven't stopped. They haven't stopped. Debit cards were what people were leaning on right before then, but it's dropped. So the last time people were using cash in mass, more than anything, 31%, was back in 2016, 2017. And then it started to taper off. So cash is now down to 18% being used in this. And you can see what they're doing. You get the cash to go lower and lower and lower. The next thing you know, electronic funds transfer other here. CBDC is going to creep up once they start implementing it. And then, 5-10 years down the road, you're going to look back on charts like this and you're going to see that one series of events came into play. The CBDC climbed and rose because of a crisis that initiates it. That's what they want. They're never going to enforce a CBDC on Trump's watch. That's for sure. But Trump, even if Trump gets in, he can only be in for 4 more years and the show is over. Then what is everybody going to do? Go try to find some other savior? Huh? 4 years, man. Like, I don't know, man. I'm so sick of this crap. I've seen this so long. I've been around the block 1,000,000 times. Okay? This ain't my first rodeo. I've seen this scam so many times. It's pathetic. It gets sick even reporting on it. Election crap. People showing up acting like we got a choice. Like, dude, didn't you learn anything from the last one? Nothing's even changed. Same corrupt people are in power. And you're still thinking that they're going to give you who you want. That's why I keep saying if they do give you who you want, the whole house is coming down. There's really no way out of it. There's no way out of it. I kind of foresee it. Trump's going to take it. Kind of crazy to say. They're about to give you what you want. So, and I said it a long time ago, if that happens, the big events will happen on his watch. So they can do it to him. So they can dirty him up on the history books. Of course. Didn't crash on Biden's watch and never be mentioned. Well, nope. Everybody's thumbing back through history and look, well, who's President Trump at that time? President Trump. That's all the headlines are going to say. Whoever was president at that moment. President Trump, they're not going to mention. No one's going to know anything about the Biden before this that wrecked the place. It's going to go back and be like, well, the United States fell apart and came down a series of events that happened. President Trump, see? It's like pulling, it's like bringing the towers down. Pull it. And look at this. What does this one say? What does this say? They are talking, this is the former Fed vice chair. He's talking about going back and starting Lyndon B. Johnson's Great Society. It is a pre-distribution of free money. How are you going to do that? How? They go into this whole huge spiel and plan and all this. How? How are you going to give people free money? CBDC. It ain't even going to be called a CBDC. They can call it whatever. They call it Trump bucks. Just to get the people to buy it. And the dumbass as well. It's going to be free printed CBDC to a digital wallet that's going to spend just like $1 does at any store, anywhere. And if the place doesn't want to take it, they're going to take it to snitch them out. Just like the COVID crap. Snitching again. This is what's about to happen. It's going to be the biggest event ever. And dude, I've given you the full-blown deets on it. You've known that this isn't something to sit back, it's entertainment, and listen to. Like I told you what's about to happen with all these banks. What's happening with these banks. Okay? And they need a crisis to get the CBDC into everyone's hands. You don't do that by shutting the lights out. You don't do that by dropping a nuke on a city. A lot of these things can just go out the window. We start to use your brain on what kind of crisis could they really use to implement that isn't too chaotic for them. It's simply freezing the banks, freezing the money, a cyber attack or something like that, like I said before. Because I spent hours thinking of this stuff and playing it all out. Like, no, this, well, that right there. In certain situations, move up the ladder. And this one is primed. You wake up one day, the banks are failing. And I'm about to tell you something, show you something else in a minute that just, to me, it's just a matter of what day are we going to wake up and this is going to happen. Okay? So you just remember, they've got a plan. I just showed you the former Fed chair openly talking about it. How they want to get all these Biden bucks, CBDC, whatever you want to call it, to the people. Colleen, thank you for the coffees and all the support as always. you got to ask yourself, how do they get the Biden bucks into the hands of the people? How do they do it? Huh? Well, I done told you. It's simple. Now the shot has to be fired. The lights don't have to be shut out, turned off. It's a little cyber attack on strategic banks, strategic timing. Blamed on whoever else. And it's locked up. And it buys them the excuse and the chance to say, hey, we'll give you whatever's in your account in this brand new CBDC. It's an emergency type thing, but it will spend just like the dollar. It's all sitting there waiting to be used. Sitting there waiting. All this is just sitting there waiting. You remember the days, those of you who live through all this mess. You look back, you'll know we had it in the crosshairs every step of the way. It's just who did what along the way. Yeah. Really, you can't control that. You can lead a horse to water, but can't force it to drink. Give all this knowledge out, but I can't make anyone out there get prepared or do anything. It's on you. So I feel like my part is the messenger here to make sure that the truth got spread out there. Everyone could get it. So it's on everyone else to do something with it. Okay, let's shift gears here a little bit. And Raybo, Kofipi, thank you, my brother. I want a big, strong, patriotic militia to form in this country. It's what I want. And I don't even want to hear all the feds are going to infiltrate. Feds infiltrate everything. It's once infiltrated the chat tonight out there. Don't you think? Huh? Listening right now? Don't you think? What? You going to be scared? It's garbage. Quivering at the knees. They're going to infiltrate. It's garbage. I'm telling you, man, in the offing, I guess we'll just have to live to see how this whole thing shakes out. I got a family and everything that I've got to be responsible for. I'm telling you right now, if God calls upon me to do something in the future and the smoke's cleared and I look back and like everybody's living their life and this is that time, it's that time and things just going to happen. Some people just going to do what they do. I'd much rather check out on a legendary status than just nothing. Much rather check out as an inspirational spark to spark someone else to get up off that ass and do something versus nothing. What's everybody gonna do? Just run, fade away into the woods and hide, be gone, and that's it? You don't beat them that way. You don't defeat the enemy that way. They'll surely come to you and they'll bring the war to you as they do everywhere if you don't head it off somewhere. Any real men out there left? Did you take offense to that? Then let's see it. Any real men out there want to ride? Oh shit, some said, here he goes. Oh, what? There you go, getting scared. Can't even start to talk about men rising to save their ass. That's somebody getting scared. It's pathetic. It's the one thing that always stalls this thing out. Yeah, it is our duty. It's our duty to stand up and to do what we got to do. Yes, real men love Jesus. There. I'm not talking going out there with a pitchfork and being stupid about anything. About being smart. Being smart is getting ready and being prepared. And being prepared to survive. Again, no white knights are coming to save us. No one's coming to save us. Nobody. You got filtered, Panther, huh? Yep. I ride with you, homie. I ride with you all the way. All the way to the end. There's a couple cats out there I'm glad I met in this life. Because there's some out there definitely. They riders. So, Powell is admitting that jobs are overstated. And this is pretty big. He's basically saying the Biden regime is lying to you all. Powell is. Our federal government, mouthpiece for the Fed, Federal Reserve and all that. Powell coming out and saying this. Like, they're lying. He's never done that. Other people call him out all the time, right? But not one of their own. Not one of their own major top-level mouthpieces. Did they ever? No. But he's doing it. You see, I don't know. So many things you just can't hide. It's all going to come out in the wash, as it's always said. You know, the truth always comes out in the wash. So I think he just sees. He's like, man, the numbers and all this stuff, you can't hide this stuff anymore. Like, yeah, you're whatever spokesperson for the White House lady can come out there and gaslight and lie to everybody watching. And they can do that all day long. But when you actually pull the numbers and the data, anyone that's got, again, a brain to do it, you will see that you're lying. And I guess they're separating themselves. We're now getting at a point where I almost feel like, yeah, this Biden ship is sinking and sailing away. And like, this is like separation. You're starting to see the separation right here. Like, he's like, I'm not going down with this ship. I'm letting the people know. I'm going to make some statements here that kind of say, hey, I didn't cover things. I didn't lie for them. He can say no from this point. But look at this. Jobs are drying up. So they're sitting there lying to you, telling you the jobs are fine and okay. Powell just told you the truth. And when you look at it, they're drying up. They're drying up all across the country. If you're in an area that has job openings or another business to come to town, come to town, feel blessed. Take the blessings where you get them, because businesses are shutting down at such a rate right now that if you're in an area that's seeing new construction, new businesses and things going in, dude, that's a plus. That's a plus, man. Because a lot of places are like they're folding up. Almost like on the verge of becoming ghost towns. Falling apart, rotting away, man. It's becoming the story of all these old towns and cities across this country. I often think of Charleston, West Virginia, when I hear this, because shout outs to my man Kev Bar that came through tonight. He's always, keeping us updated with what's going on in his neck of the woods, and I've heard so much from him that all this business is packing up and leaving town, and it's like slowly dying. And I feel his pain there. When you look around the country, you see all these different places, and someone like me, I hear it from a lot of different people, from a lot of different areas. I see it clearly, man. Our country's dying. Unless somebody wants to jump up and throw the paddles on it, it's gonna die. I don't know what to say. We rally the troops, we get out there and start huffing and puffing some hard stuff in the streets, try to get some people riled. What do we want? What do you want? We go out there and have the feds blow my head off. It's fine. We can go out and we can do that if you want that. Were the people really going to do anything? Somebody was to rise to the occasion and sacrifice their life, and I really not care. To go out there and put their life on the line to make all this happen. Would the people even rise? Would it be all for nothing? It's pretty sad. People had a chance. You got people out there that would rise to the occasion potentially and say, screw it all, and kamikaze on the beast. But then they look at the people that they're supposed to be doing this for, and like, the love's not and support's not even there. Like, they're not even there. So what am I doing this for? So the people themselves collectively need to take a long, good look in the mirror and where we're going from here. They'll never hear my voice. It's the masses out there that they won't let me reach because I'm so censored. But if I can't reach them and we can't get the knowledge to them and the message to them, then what is ever going to change anything? I'm reaching for ways. I'm trying to find ways, man. Always asking these questions, can't never get no answers. Reject the mark. Yeah, that's right. Focus on water preps. Very good. Very good tips. They're uncommon. My brother checking in from El Paso, Texas. Thank you for that. I want to point out, take a look here at the screen real quick. If you want to know what it takes for an individual to live comfortably in your state, take a look at the screen. Massachusetts, the highest at $116K that you need to make individual income. The lowest is West Virginia. We were just talking about it, $79K in the country. And I told you, what did I just get into telling you? From my own people that I know, that it's like shriveling up, drying up. That's why. It's that way. I pray things change. It's all you can do, I guess, and hope that people bring business and things to a town or to a city. It's for anyone out there. I don't want to see none of these towns dying at all. You know, my state, I think that, in West Virginia, if you're used to hard times in West Virginia, like living like that, well, then it's similar like my state, Kentucky. Here, like, actually, West Virginia is not alone. Arkansas is tied with it. Right there, now that I look. But, Oklahoma right there, you're talking just a couple $1,000s off here in all these. People in my state used to hard times, man. And all the people around me, every neighbor you see out there, they all got their own gardens going. They all got chickens. They all got this thing. And, like, when stuff pops off, they're not fretting. They're not sweating it, really. It's crazy. I like it like that, though, man, because they're already used to it. If everything was just to shut down and get, seized up, these cats around here are not killing each other. They're not killing the neighbors. It's not how it goes. They're already used to hard times, so what does it matter? Lights are out. Oh, well, we went all last week without power. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. Like, I don't know, man. People that are, like, accustomed to this high luxury type of lifestyle, those are the ones that are going to feel it the most to get the rug pulled out from underneath them. Those that are used to the hard times and have been this whole life getting by, you won't be as affected as bad as how I see it. And I'm talking about areas, the whole area. Like, you can't be someone like that living in downtown in the city, because the people in the city are going to become animals. It's just the way it is. And it gets less and less when you venture out into suburbia. And when you get out into the country, that's where people learn to live on their own. And people got another thing coming. They think they're going to be getting out to the country and taking anything from the country boys. They won't make it out of there alive. They won't make it out of there alive. So where's the highest place to live right now in terms of expenses? New York, number 1. Number 2, Jersey. Number 3, San Francisco. Number 4, Boston. 5 is Miami. 6 is San Jose. So those are the top 5, 6 places there in terms of rent across the country. Okay. You may recall, I said on the past couple streams, for some reason, they keep repeating the same thing over and over. over and over. I'm about to say it again. The FDIC reports that there are dozens, 63 problematic banks in the United States. And we have $517 billion in unrealized losses. It's like trying to tell somebody something and they're just not getting it. They're just not getting it. And they know it. They're just not getting it. You have to repeat it over and over and over and over before I finally get it. They're wanting the people to see this. Duh. What could we add to this to make it even crazier here, I guess? Well, I got one for you. We've been telling you that we're in this situation, that there's dozens of banks that are insolvent here. But guess what I did not know? Because I was trying to find out what banks, right? They are absolutely refusing to give a single name to a single bank. The reasoning? They're afraid it's going to start a bank run. It's over. Dude, it's just like sitting right before the Great Depression and seeing what they're going to do. I told you, do not get caught with nothing in there. You better get your 401k out at the top of these all-time highs, or you're done. You're done. You're gambling from here. You know, extra $100, this, that, nah. You're getting greedy with it. You need to cash out. Now I'm warning you. You can never say, God never came along through someone and gave me the warning and just told me to cash out so I didn't lose it all. God, why didn't you do that? He did tonight. W7 told you. Do not get caught slipping. This is about to happen. They're about to rob the whole damn country. So stay in it and risk it all, trying to get a couple more pennies out of it, or you better make moves now. Are you going to wait till Monday? You going to wait till next week? Wait till things get a little hairier? I'm telling you, you're going to get smoked if you do that. And only keep in there what you have to pay immediate bills coming up for the month ahead. And that is it. Is all I'd keep in there. All you can afford to lose at that point. Because if everything locks up, who's coming to kick you out of your house because you didn't pay rent? Who? Huh? No, the whole country will be locked up at this point. You understand? Like everyone, those moves ain't going to be made. I guarantee you things just like with COVID, where they won't allow people to be kicked out, is going to go into effect. They've already beta tested it. These moratoriums and all this stuff. Gosh, man, some of this stuff is so obvious to see. The only thing is we don't know when it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay, so, again, I don't want to hear people crying and whining or any of this crap afterwards. I lost all my 401k or any of this crap. When it happens, when we told you clearly. This is bombshell stuff, man. Life-saving, life-changing, altering information. You can either ignore and go on to the next story, or you can plan to do something about it, man. So I'm telling you, they're making a huge deal out of it right now in this article. Why are they not telling us a single name? And well, they come to the conclusion because they know why. Because as soon as one bank, as soon as these banks are mentioned, it will create a bank run. It all begins. It will all begin. So they keep putting the story out there like, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? People go back, are you ready for what? Like, for what's about to happen, you fool? We're going to sit here and baited it in front of your face how many times? Sit here and told you dozens of banks are about to fall apart any morning. It's like Silicon Valley Bank. It's going to be a big name. Something stupid like that. Silicon Valley Bank. It's gonna be this bank, this name of a bank. It's gonna start it all again, and it's over from there. I'm telling you, they're not ready. They're not ready. Much love, Crown Jewels Music Group, and yes, me and Fire to Flame, Hoodie Ross, working on more music. Got another hot one cooking up. I just got to get that all mixed down, bro. That's gonna take me a couple days. I got Hoodie's verse. I got everything for it. It's gonna take me. I'm in the middle of a bunch of stuff. The banks are short silver. The laws control the shots. Now they're in big trouble. Yeah, Silicon Valley. Aaron says XRP. What, the same XRP you've been sitting on this whole bull ride? Huh? It didn't go nowhere? What's XRP at? 50 cents? Is it less than 60? Is it really? Is it out of this whole bull run? Anyone that sat in XRP this whole bull run was foolish. You got had, and you need to accept it and realize that that's the scam of crypto. It's okay, though. Everybody, you got to admit your wins and your losses. I lost a lot. I made over $120,000 in crypto the very first year and lost every single penny of it because I didn't pull it out. Yeah, because I didn't. But guess what? I lost it all. It was no gain. I didn't have to claim it on any taxes. It was all loss for me. But I could have. But I had different things going. I had a baby mama come after me right afterwards for child support. God was watching my ass in different ways that I didn't know. Okay? Things happen for reasons. But I'm telling you, this crypto game, all this stuff, man, I don't know, man. You do what you want. The XRP was somewhat stable. You don't get into anything to make money to stay stable. You get into it to rise. You know, people that's been in Ethereum, all these other altcoins, Solana, all these others, they've made a fortune. This whole ride up. That's what you do in a bull market. But you don't get in it now. You don't go buy Bitcoin now. You don't buy none of them now. It's at an all-time high. What you do is you go over to a place that allows you to short. If you can do it, a lot of people are having to use VPNs. Go to a site that allows you to short because this whole thing's coming down. And when it does, you can make money the whole way down. Just like the big boys do. And they don't tell nobody else about it. But now you know. That's where the real money's made. You understand? That's where the real money's made. Ah, man, if I was back in crypto, I'm telling you, we can make some news. Just don't trust it, man. Just don't trust it. And there's no way that I can be involved in it, not trusting it and doing what I do and all that. So that's why I'm not in it. Yeah, because it's more important that I tell God's people the message and the truth along the way, because He's watching. He's watching everything. He's watching everything we do. I'm not luring you into no trap. I'm doing everything I can to warn you of everything. That way, when it's all said and done, you look back at everything I did, Paul revered it every step of the way. So, let me see where we're at here. 10:30 here. I think about a half hour left here in the show. I want to make sure that I get to a couple of these things that are important here. That I don't want to miss here that I got lined up. Okay. Talked about the fake meat before. So skip over that here. Let's get to this. We'll pick up right here. Yeah, Noah was a conspiracy theorist until it rained. Let me tell you something. This Noah's Ark has been built. I'm just sitting here waiting on the first drops of rain, son. That's what I compare it to. That's where I feel I'm at in this whole thing. It's about to go down. Yeah. Yeah. And just like Noah, everyone thought I was crazy. I went off in the wilderness and I did what I had to do this whole time to get ready for the storm. I hope others did, but just like Noah, he knew everyone else didn't. It's a pretty crazy feeling. Pretty crazy feeling. So the ATF apparently exceeded its statutory authority. This is from the Supreme Court, and this is a big win. It's huge. The Supreme Court rules that the bump stock ban is unconstitutional. Dude, you have like never thought that this was going to happen. But they held it down. Justice Thomas wrote that Congress has long restricted access to machine guns, a category of firearms defined by the ability to shoot automatically more than one shot by a single function of the trigger. Semi-automatic firearms, which require shooters to re-engage the trigger for every shot, are not machine guns. This case asks whether a bump stock, an accessory for a semi-automatic rifle that allows the shooter to rapidly re-engage the trigger, converts the rifle into a machine gun. We, the Supreme Court, hold that it does not, and therefore affirm. So they just flat out, boom, don't think so, boys. Like, our guys are going to have their guns and defend it. This is how it's going to be. It's going to roll you Chinese up in here and have all these guys disarmed. Ain't happening like that here. Buck is how it's happening here from my cold dead hands and the millions around me. That's how it's going to have to be. And I ain't going to say it like that. You ain't going to get it from my cold dead hands. You ain't going to get nothing from me, and I ain't going to be dead. It's going to be the other way around. Partners, you come try and take mines. Any of these other good old boys in these mountains, you're going to have to get to them first. You got a lot of windy old back roads try to get them APCs and tanks down. They're just going to get blown off, let me tell you. Any blue helmets? Boy, we use them for target practice. In the meantime, federal judge blocks the ATF rule expanding the definition of a gun dealer. Two huge wins. Right there. Federal judge in Texas has blocked the ATF from implementing this new rule. So, federal judge and Supreme Court stepping up here in these cases and giving wins to the people. So they can't go after saying, they were trying to expand the definition of a gun dealer to where if you went and you sold in a car lot this weekend, a perfectly legitimate shotgun out of your car at the lot where everyone's up there trading, you're a dealer now. That's garbage. And they saw it as just that and threw it out. So all this garbage they've tried there, hasn't worked. Much love, Pixie. So, did you know that we now have hundreds of illegal immigrants, if not thousands at this point, living inside of Boston's Logan Airport? They're just there living. If you tried to go do this, dude, you'd be drug out by the head of your hair or something, thrown in a drug cell, whatever they want to do. They're not going to treat you like they're treating these people with like full-blown respect. Illegals. It's insanity. This is crazy. This is crazy. These airports looking like this, nuts. Oh yeah, thank you for the coffee, sir, meat puppet. And no, hiding your thermal image from a drone is huge. I mean, we should be having like full-blown streams on this. Matter of fact, I think it's like it needs it. Here I am tonight on Friday night live. I'm on YouTube, but I said I was going to start using Rumble more and more for the nights where I can't speak freely, like completely. I need to go over in Rumble and we need to air it out on like some stuff. Like over here, I can't even I'm afraid to even let a cuss word slip. I tried to keep them clean anyway. But we just know, you gotta walk around on eggshells over here on YouTube. But I mean, this is where I reach the more people. So it's a double-edged sword. So when I go to Rumble, I can air it out. Like, how do we survive these drone strikes? Like, I think we need to be talking about that. I think we should have learned something from our brothers and sisters in Afghanistan all these years instead of turning a cheek to it. Seeing how they were knocking them out of the sky. How they were hiding from the thermal imaging. In all this. Unless you just want to get murdered, mass murdered by it. Mylar blanket on umbrella, mask IR from drones. Yeah, I've got some stuff. I appreciate that, Uncommon. We need to start going on that avenue, just doing some talks on it. In the meantime, these invaders are piling across the border left and right, showing up in a city near you. We have 8 of these suspected terrorists arrested in New York, Philadelphia, and LA. These are people that are at the top of the list when it comes to terror. And we've got 8 of them strung across the country that they've picked up. I'm telling you, man, times that by 100. They're all over the place. They've got cells all over the place. They're posting up like gangs. And I told you before, our gangs have really been one of the biggest things that have kept them out of the heart of downtown cities. Any city that's got tough gangs, because those gangs are running these people out. Because they don't let people just run up in their neck of the woods. That's the beautiful thing about that. They do hold down their turf. They actually fight back. You know what I'm saying? They'll do something about it. Unlike a bunch of these other suckers in this country that just lay there and get ran up in. Till it's too late. They're mass murdering and raping your neighbors. You're just looking out the window like, oh, I don't care. Ugh. Some people just got what they got coming to them. That's all I can say. Man, just quit caring. If you don't care, why should I care? Simple as that. You may recall this Ohio Butler County Sheriff here a few months back put a huge warning out, warning that something massive is about to happen with these illegals. He was briefed by the FBI and the feds, and they told him something huge is about to happen. Remember this guy right here with the mustache? He came out and said it. Well, now he's saying we need to bring back the death penalty for these guys. This is what he's pushing for out of Butler County in Ohio. For these illegals that want to come in and do all this stuff, rape, murder, all this, death penalty. You don't want to send them out of here? We're going to execute them. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. So sick of the weak ones, man. I'm so sick of these scared. I just want to cuss by default, but so sick of these weaklings, these cowards. Nothing to do with you. I don't want you nowhere near me, around me, nothing. All right, let's get on to the politics here. And a quick piece on our dementia patient called Joe Biden. You're going to see here in this clip, I haven't seen this other one unless it's from a different angle. I'll see.
They include key parts of Russia's financial sector. I'll wait till it goes over. As well as individual and entities that supply Russia with items critical to its defense production, like microelectronics. They include...
Dude can't even speak right. Can't even read off a teleprompter. Just completely breaking down, malfunctioning. We'll play this one here. He walks around like a robot. And look, all these people know, like all the rest of these world leaders, they're all like walking around him, like make sure you don't fall over, like he don't do this. I'm gonna play this top clip, blow it up. He just like wanders off, and Melanie comes over here and like has to grab him and turn him around. It's like embarrassing. Here we go. Look, he's just looking off the other way. He just gets walking off. She grabs him like, over here. And look, his hands all stiff, stuck out. I mean, this dude is like junk. He's like, oh my gosh. Okay. I don't have cable TV out there, so I don't know what these pundits say, and it's refreshing, quite a bit. I can barely stand catching these clips where I got a cover here, but Rachel Maddow, is basically coming out fear-mongering her crowd and saying that
the election means one of two things.
That she's going to be put in prison. Either Donald Trump goes to prison and doesn't become president, or he becomes president and he's coming after everybody. And I'm like, dude, like, shut your mouth. Like, you're just talking crap. I mean, instantly, I'm like, how many dumb guppies out there are buying this? Like, really, I wish I could see this. Show of hands. Wish I could see. Are buying this crap, AOC's crap, fear-mongering. Trump's going to put them in jail for what? Did you commit some crime? I mean, what? Just for speaking? No. We all know that's not going to happen. Trump ran his whole first campaign on putting one person in prison. Her name was Hillary Rodham Clinton, and he never did it. You know how many people got rich off of selling Hillary for prison shirts alone? InfoWars, all these goons that were at all these rallies selling t-shirts and buttons. That's all half these dudes do. They go to these places just to make money off people. That's all they do. It's all it is. They care less about everyone. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's disgusting. You wonder why this country can't be saved? There ain't no patriots anywhere? Dude, it's pathetic, dude. It's pathetic. So, yeah, Hillary Rodham Clinton still running around out there. So anyone who wants to come to me and say, he can't drain the swamp. Yes, it's a world stage. You got that right, Deanne. My job is just to make sure that you guys understand that. Most of you guys do at this point. Wake you up to the illusion. We really, at this point, you should be up to speed there. You should be getting ready for these events. We're running out of time. We're running out of time to do all these things. All right, let me show you real quick. Where are the immigrants going in Europe? Because remember, George Soros, the same one that's sending them around our country, shipping people in all these different places, the protesters, all this. He is sending people, immigrants, across the Mediterranean from North Africa and into Europe. Now, this has been done by design, okay? To destabilize the region. Eric coming in, man. Eric Capon coming through with the super chat big time there. Keep up the good fight, he says. Hey, much love. Thank you, man. Don't see many of those. That is appreciated to the fullest. To the fullest. Thank you, Eric. Germany. What have I been telling you about this place? It's been flipped, turned upside down. France, the same way. Spain. Ain't even the same country it ever used to be. All of them have been inundated, targeted, big time, with these immigrants that do not assimilate. They were never sent there to assimilate. They were sent there to cause chaos, to smack people around, spit on your women, chop heads off in the street. That's what they were sent there to do. And since Christians aren't as warring by nature, what this leads to is a situation where you have these aggressors come in and you have people that are more passive by nature that start getting pushed around and bullied and bullied and bullied. The problem is you have to fight back. It's like a thing in school. Your parents told you were younger. They pop him in the nose one time and then it stop. Yeah, that's what needs to happen. Or these animals are going to come in and destroy everything. I mean, in the UK, I remember watching a clip of Tommy Robinson saying he couldn't even go back into his neighborhood that he grew up in. Can you imagine that? Can't even go into a neighborhood that you grew up in your country because the animals are there. Because that's what they are. You want to act like it, and then you treat it like it. So, again, this is by design. Look at the situation in France. The people are waking up. They're pissed off. Macron and their whole thing that they just launched just took huge hits. Now Le Pen vowing to deport all these foreigners. Yeah, the world is a stage, but something's got to happen. If she gets in there, will they start doing this? Germany just got done saying it took them killing cops to finally convince them, you need to send these goons out of here. So now they're starting to do it. You know, it's taken as much as they can take at this point. It's starting to boil over. Very similar to sending all these illegal migrants up to New York and into Illinois, all these places that were sanctuary cities. They can't take it no more. They're like, take them back, take them back, take them back. It's overflowing. We exposed the scam there. All the money being spent to house these illegals in hotels in these commie states. These hotels that are going along with it are getting paid for every single hotel room every night, full price, as long as they're on board. It doesn't matter if they've got anyone in the room or not. They can only be like quarter of the way occupant or whatever. Since they're in on the scheme, they're getting paid off in full. And this is garbage. And we know this is happening in the open. Treason all over the place, right in front of us. Okay, so let me see here. Coming up here in the last leg of the show, got about 10 different articles I'm going to try to touch on here real quick. The main one here to start this off with in the military sector is having to do with the situation with Russia coming down to Cuba. I reported on our Poseidon aircraft and others, even one came down from Canada. They were circling off the East Coast, what they believed was a Russian sub. But the Russian sub is now set to be docked in Cuba along with the other vessels, which means that if there's something out there they're chasing, it's something extra. Because they state right here that, and this is why I tell you the world is a stage. Guess who's docked together in Cuba right now? The United States and Russia. But you're not supposed to see none of that or pay attention to that. They don't want you looking behind the curtain. Yeah, that's what's up. They want to come out and Cuba says, oh, and Russia's, their sub's not nuclear armed. Like, why would they even tell us? They'd probably tell us that if they were, to be honest, if they were about to strike us. To be honest, that's probably what they would tell us right there. That makes it kind of even more ominous. But the world is a stage. Like I said, our sub is sitting there docked in the same place with them. They're down there sipping it up, drinking it up, I'm sure. Putin says that the war in Ukraine can end this very minute. Right now. This very second. That Ukraine just has to pull back out of the Oblast, Kherson, Donetsk, People Republic, Luhansk, those areas in which Russia's come in and annexed. And they may give them a little bit of this other area back, but they keep a land corridor to Crimea no matter what. He said that they'll stop and that Ukraine must completely withdraw from NATO. They must completely ditch trying to join NATO. So that's like a key thing. Like, ditch NATO and just back away from the towns you already got whooped in, and we'll call this one. He said it a couple times, actually. He's the only one that's thrown any offers out there, and this piece of junk on the right here, this turd Zelensky, satanic piece of crap running around half naked in high heels and all this other crap. It's dude, it's evil. This place is evil. So, NATO turns around and tells Ukraine, you gotta win the war if you want in. What? What? Yeah. Everybody's gonna keep supplying you all these weapons, even troops, and all this other stuff. Go to the slaughter. But you gotta win this if you want in here. And it's like, what? It's like one of NATO's biggest arch enemies. And they're like, no, you go take him on by yourself. If you beat him, then you're in. It's a puppet show. I'm telling you, I don't care what they say. A nuke's going to fly over there. You watch. I'm just hoping they don't hit the United States at one. Tactical nukes or a tsunami bomb off the coast. Or something detonated out in the water and it floods down the coast. Big time. All kinds of major cities. All kinds of ports. See, shots like that are all you need to do. Tsunami bomb off the East Coast. The sub could do it right now. Could be why they're out there. And it would cripple the whole East Coast. Every port, everything. Tsunami comes rolling in. 100-foot tall from a tsunami bomb, it's done. Any coastal city wiped out. It's just like an EMP. Like, why go in and fire a single shot? Hit them with an EMP. Take them out in one shot. Duh. Hell, hit them with just the 2-shot. Hit them with the 1-2. Hit them with the EMP and then the tsunami bomb. It's double F them up. And this country wouldn't survive that, let me tell you. Our country wouldn't survive either one of them blows. Much less both at the same time. All right, Princeton, West Virginia update. At least 5 victims still searching for the suspect in a black Durango or Charger. Thank you for that meat puppet. They're checking in at the end. Appreciate it to the fullest there. Let's skip through a couple here. I do want to mention that China is being linked to infiltrating dozens of Western governments in a cyber campaign. So, pay attention. They're telling you right here, China. And they're the ones that's linked. They're saying it right here ahead of time. They've infiltrated dozens of Western governments. I mean, World War pops off. Who do you think it's going to be? Come on, man. It's all a farce anyway. It's all a farce. It's all a show. And I want to make mention of a couple things here of ancient stuff here real quick. We have what they call sea hinge. This is a structure made of wood that has been discovered off the coast of Norwich, and they're dating it to about 4,000 years ago. So, a very strange structure, and it's in a circular form, kind of like Stonehenge. And they say that they believe that the sea hinge here and a secondary nearby monument were both built by ancient Britons during a period of extreme cold. And this was in an effort to try to bring back warmer weather. So, hey man, Eon checking in. Coffees, man. Always sliding in there at the end with much love and support. I appreciate that more than you know, Eon. Thank you for the coffees. Thank you to the fullest. Thank you, Meat Puppet. Thank you, Colleen, Luis, Jenna, Marley, Kev Bar, JT, J Bear. Everybody tonight coming in with the coffees. Eric over at the Super Chat. Big time, man. Appreciate all that, man. Got two more here. Another one, a mysterious 4,000-year-old circular stone building. So, back to 4,000 years, back to back here. This is in Greece. And their largest island in Crete. So, we know that island goes back to ancient biblical times for sure. But apparently, this mysterious structure, circular stone building, we don't know what it was used for at this point. Things like that are really interesting to me. All those ancient type of sites. And man, if we could get to them before the Smithsonian and before corrupt governments do, you might just find something. You might just find, a giant, a reptilian, another type of creature, something I don't want you to find. Well, what do we have here? 7,000 years ago, out of ancient Mesopotamia, Iraq. What are they finding? They're finding artifacts that shows that a certain pre-Sumerian civilization there was worshiping human figures with lizard heads. And there's all kinds of different statues like this. And I couldn't make out if this one was one feeding a baby in its arms. It's kind of what I seen with it. I don't know what it was doing with this one, but you can even see that they have round, like circular features. I don't know if it's part of the skin because they're lizard, but you look at this one. This is a completely different make. And look, here's all these round features again, up on the shoulders. Lizard head, made completely different. And that head's completely different than this head. He's got a male genitalia on that one. This one looks like it has female breasts. These are human bodies with lizard heads. And this is what they were making from 7,000 years ago. Why? I think you know why. The fallen, they're here. They've always been here. These guys have been here the entire time. They are in the ocean. They are under the ground. They are everywhere. They are the fallen. They've been here the entire time. Like that dude at work that always tells you, go somewhere, out of sight, out of mind. Boss don't see you. Well, same thing. Out of sight, out of mind. But they're here. You see the UAPs and all this stuff floating around, flying around. We all know that they're moving around and we've caught them. But they're not supposed, they're playing like they're not here. And they've got our own government lying to us. All of our governments in on this. That just keep your mouth shut like we're not here. That's the thing. Just keep playing it like we're not here. And they are. And they're in full control. They're the ones giving these governments technology. They're the ones that our governments are bowing down to. The fallen. Sure are. And whether in the physical or the spiritual, there's a battle here and there's wicked entities here, that's for sure. I am 1,000% sure of that. Yeah, of course, Phil Schneider. Phil Schneider's legendary. Phil Schneider took shots. Phil Schneider went down into a dome and got blasted in an encounter, got his fingers blown off. The dude lived to tell about it, and it showed it. Had the scars, had all the proof before they killed him, for the ultimate. R.I.P. Phil. He's a warrior. He's top notch, earned all the stripes. He's a legend. A rider. One that fought the fight to the end. Literally fought him in the flesh. Went down in a dome and had an encounter. I mean, the stories on Phil Snyder are amazing. He fought the fight, man. He's a legend. said, man, some of these guys out here, just, when I'm on the other side, I hope to resonate with their energy. And the same to a lot of you if I don't get to meet you in the flesh. I will say this. I'm going to aim for spring, March, April of this next year to have a get together out in Vegas, out west. It's the best that I can do. I know it's a long ways out. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to be able to make the RNC. I don't have the funds, don't have the means. I've been crippled so that everybody knows, they demonetized me and they shut me down, and I'm having to sell my house, everything I've got. I've sold everything I've got. Any gold I was sitting on, anything and everything I've had to survive, working odd jobs, doing all this other stuff to get by. But now I'm down to where the house goes bye-bye in the next month. And can't nobody tell me about taking hits and losing everything. Because I have. And I come from the gutter. That's why I thank you guys so much for your support, everything that you do to help me out there. And all this stuff. This is the fight we fight, man. God willing, I'll be back for another one on Monday. I'm trying to keep this going Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I probably got I've always got something. I've always got something with all the survival or something coming. Like I said, if I do this, I'll be having to move and do all kinds of other stuff in the coming month. So, whatever. I put it in God's hands. It's what He asked me to do. When things are out of my hands, out of my control, He asked me to give it to Him. So I pray and I do. And I can't tell you. When someone looks at my life, all the trials and tribulations I've been in, like, how did He do it? How did He ever do it? Like crossing the Red Sea. I only did it because of the Most High. That's it. He's the only thing that has got me through every bit of this. His graces. Whether working through you listening or others out there to help fight this fight. We're in this together, man. And I'm just trying to do the best I can for checkout time. I can say, hey, I ain't even got to say nothing. But like it speaks for itself. Let's rewind it and hit play. Yeah, I wasn't perfect. We're all sinners. The younger you are, the more, I don't know, the more chances you have to fall into all that trap. The wiser you get, the older you get, the more you realize. And I think that's all what this whole thing's about. It's about your soul maturing. It's about your soul learning, improving to the Most High Godhead. That in this proving ground, you're consciously willing to do the right thing and earn those stripes to advance to a better life. If not, the soul dies or gets recaptured by the Most High for whatever He wants it to do. Energy never dies. Energy can never be destroyed. It can only change shape or form. Don't you ever forget that. And that's what we all are. Soul energy. Riding this vessel on this ride until we hop out. It's judgment from there. And I expect to get some high marks. Putting in this work. It's what it's all about, man. Fighting the fight for the Most High, the good fight. I thank all of you that do it. I'm going to take us out of here on some music. Email me if you need me. Hopefully, get things turned around here. Just keep things going positive. That's all we can do. Keep things going in a positive direction. And if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, we will see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. Much love. God bless. Pure Bloods forever. Loading up the chest. And it's a big one. Coming at you. I just thought about that Alf and the cats. Much love. I think it was just a joke, Alf. Much love, all y'all. Much love, Bullshit, Tiger, Black Cat, Panther, Sonic Cat. There's a bunch of cats. There's 4 cats for you right there. Much love. Much love forever. God bless. Much love, Taco. Tiger, Real, MC Dirty, much love. Steve, Bullshit. Thank you, Handy Jones, for the super chat. Much love. Much love forever. Signing off 11/11.